city manager, council, staff. I'm addressing the process used to dismiss 4 of our city volunteers serving on the New Rochelle Municipal Housing Authority Board of Directors, Sheila Small, Michael Yellen, Haslin Howard, and the Reverend Dr. Harry Dawkins. After years of service as members of this board, they received an email on December 29th from the former city manager stating their services were no longer needed. As a resident of New Rochelle, I felt embarrassed, sad, shame, and anger over the disrespectful process the city used to dismiss these volunteers. Imagine how they felt and how it might have disrupted them personally and professionally. And what did this communicate to our community about how the city treats and views its volunteers? I know that firing a person is a difficult task. During my career, I did this a number of times, and I never slept well the night before that final meeting. But if you have a respectful process, then you can look that person in the eye when informing them of your decision, knowing that this decision was arrived at through a thoughtful and collaborative process. So what is a respectful process when it's the thinking about terminating a volunteer? At the very least, it needs to involve face-to-face meetings. It needs to involve reciprocal dialogue centered around performance. In my management of underperforming staff, I also included creating a performance improvement plan, or PIP. PIP consists of delineating the performance changes the person needs to make by a certain date. The consequences of failing to complete the PIP were also discussed, which often included the possibility of termination. So tonight, in response to the shameful process used to terminate our housing board volunteers, I offer the city manager, mayor, and council persons this PIP. Number 1, review the city's code of conduct and ethics describing how city staff and elected officials should treat one another, including our volunteers. 2, review, revise, and/or create the policy procedure for managing volunteers. 3, reinstate Sheila Small, Michael Yellen, Haslin Howard, and the Reverend Dr. Harry Dawkins to the New Rochelle Municipal Housing Authority Board of Directors. This will allow them to engage in meaningful discussion with the city so as to come to a decision regarding their continued service. 4, and finally, the city manager, mayor, and council persons should issue an apology to these volunteers and to our entire community and announce the corrective actions you're taking to reduce the future probability of terminating volunteers in a similar manner.
Thank you, sir.
For giving me this opportunity.
Our next speaker is Lisa Burton.